My name, Layla Black. Most of you on the line know me, but you may be listening to this recording, and it might be the first time that you've ever met me. So let me just tell you a little bit about me. And this call, the topic of today's call, is so important, and it's been critical in my growth over the last 5 years, coming into this online marketing world as a complete rookie, a complete newbie, totally green, didn't know what I was doing, to making over $1 million online now as a college dropout broke musician. So it's this skill, which you're going to learn today, really has been the stepping stone. There's a lot of things that hold us back in life. I'm pretty sure if you think about something in your life right now, you can think about something that's in your way or something that's stopping you from getting to where you want to be. Now, when you can change the way that you think about the obstacles in front of you or the circumstances around you, and you can make one critical shift in your mindset, one shift from scarcity to abundance. Now, there's been lots of success stories that I've been seeing on the internet over the last couple of weeks. Success stories in my team, in other people's teams, in other companies, friends of mine in different companies who are, on incredible runs in their businesses, and they're breaking records, and they're having amazing success in their business and in their life. So when you see this success around you, and you hear the stories, and you see this person made $10,000 in one day, this person just qualified for the car in their company, what do you think? How do you feel? Think about that for a second. Sit on it. What kind of response, what kind of emotions do you start to feel when you see the success of others? The answer to this question, the answer to how you're feeling, will be the decision maker on whether you achieve those same results or you continue to be stagnant and not growing. I believe that my first taste of success on the internet in the home business arena started when I shifted my mindset to abundance. Now, when I first got online, when I first, figured out how to build a capture page, I had a scarcity mindset. All I could think about was these leads that I had to generate. And if they didn't opt into my page, they would opt into someone else's. If they didn't get on my list, they would be on someone else's. And you're so focused on what they could do or how you could lose them or what might happen if they join someone else's team that you forget to turn the energy inward. So I want to share with you a couple steps, something to help you remember, because you're not going to be perfect. You're not always going to have this positive, abundance mindset. You're not always going to be in that place. Scarcity, lack, fear, they'll all creep up on you. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being that feng shui guru who is ultimately aware in every situation. It's about how you react when that scarcity, when that lack, when that fear creeps up on you. So if you have a piece of paper in front of you, or a notepad, or your laptop, or whatever you have in front of you, if you don't have a piece of paper and a pen, get one. I want you to put the paper in front of you, or open up your notepad or your text document, and I want you to write the word abundance down the left-hand side, long ways, so down the page, abundance. Now we're going to go through each of these letters, and I want you to keep this paper. I want you to keep this document. I want you to print it out if you're doing it on your computer. Because this is your arsenal when scarcity, when lack, when fear tries to attack. First letter there is A. I want you to write, ask and it is given. Ask and it is given. So the A. So we know that abundance, it starts with a mindset, a mentality. And I just asked you to imagine how you feel when you see someone else's success. So let's go back to that. Let's go back to that reference that we're talking about. Ask and it is given. So what are you asking for? Even when you're not consciously asking, you are always asking, even if it's a thought or a feeling or an action. You are asking for something. So you might be asking, well, why didn't I make $10,000 a month? Or why didn't I make $10,000? Why didn't I get a commission? What's the answer to that question? Is it anything positive? Is there a positive response? Not likely. Most likely your mind's going to create answers why you didn't do it. Well, because I don't have enough experience, or I'm too old, or I'm too shy, or I fail at everything. I always fail. If you're creating that kind of dialogue, then you won't live in abundance. So ask, and it is given. Change your questions. When you see someone's success, rather than saying, why didn't I get it? Why didn't I get a sale? Why doesn't my list buy? Change it. How can I get a sale? How can I get my list to buy? Ask, and it will be given. Be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see. So some of you saw in my Facebook post asking the question, I want more love in my life. And we've had a lot of women come on this call that have been through some difficult relationships, have struggled with their identity. And I remember when I used to say, I used to say, man, I really wish that Toby would tell me I'm beautiful more. Or I wish that he would be more loving. If you know my husband, he is extremely loving, but he's Scottish too. So there's something about the Scottish people that they have this harshness, this fierceness, this attack mode. So when I first got together with Toby, I didn't understand how to be aware and how to have abundance in my life and how to create my destiny. So I thought that if he could make me feel better about myself, then I would feel better. So you might think, I wish that I had more love in my relationship. I wish that I had more results. I wish that I could get more members in my team. Well, let's think about this for a second. Be the change you want to see. Now, if you want to sponsor a whole lot of people in your team, I want you to ask yourself right now, what have you done for the people that are in your team already? Whether it's 1 or 2 or 3, even if it's just a few people that have been in your team over the last year or so, what have you done for them? Rather than focusing on what you don't have, and I wish that I had more, be the change. If you want more people in your team, you need to be the leader that people want to work with. If you want more life, more love in your relationships, you need to be that loving spouse. You need to give it. Rather than giving your power away to someone else, rather than waiting for someone else to change, you control the change. Speaking of you, the next letter is U. I want you to write down universe. So sometimes we feel all alone. You feel like it's your responsibility to make everything happen in your life. When it comes to creating abundance, there is an undeniable force, an invisible force that we call the universe. Let the universe be your source and go shine your light and know that the universe will answer. N, this is probably one of the most important things that I ever did to change the way that I loved myself, to change the way that I loved other people. Notice your thinking. N, notice your thinking. We've all heard of stinking thinking. Well, I'm telling you, it does not create abundance. There's complaining. How many of us are doing that? You're just asking for conflict. You're just asking for negativity. Now, when you think about it, let's go back to the success. Seeing other people's success, seeing a Facebook post about this incredible couple that made $20,000 their first month, or $92,000 in 90 days. Let's go back to that. Notice your thinking. Are your thoughts kind and compassionate? Are they supportive of you? This is really important to remember. Are your thoughts supportive of you? Or do you instantly throw yourself under the bus? Notice your thinking. Become aware. D, decide. Decide you are worthy. Now tell me the truth. Tell me the truth right now. Do you believe that you're worthy of abundance? Do you believe that you are worthy? Or do you have that stinking thinking, the words from your past, the hurt from your past telling you that you are not good enough? A lot of people, they just don't believe that they're worthy. Or if they do create abundance, they don't believe they can sustain it. Even people, that's why you hear of people who win the lottery and their money's gone. Or they get a big payout in the stock exchange and their money's gone and they're bankrupt. Because they don't truly believe that they're worthy. And they don't believe that they can sustain it. And when you don't believe that, your mind self-sabotages. Your mind attacks and makes your visions reality. So decide right now, right here, that you're worthy. You're worthy of creating and receiving abundance. This isn't a decision I can tell you to make. This isn't a decision that your husband can tell you to make. This is a decision you have to decide. Now, A. We're back at A. Attitude of gratitude. Write this down. Attitude of gratitude. Take stock. Honestly, I was just about an hour ago, a friend of mine, my best friend from elementary school, like the only friend that I have from my childhood, And it's kind of an interesting story because we were best friends, and then we grew apart. I went away to university. I moved to a different city. I dropped out of university. I had a whole new group of friends. I got into lots of trouble, but our paths separated. She found me on Facebook a few years ago, and since that moment, we've just been, exactly the way we were in grade 7. So she called me today, and she told me that her mom is expected to die today. Her mom went in the hospital 2 weeks ago with a swollen stomach, and cancer had spread through her entire body. It was in her bloodstream now, and they didn't expect her to make it through the day. So I knew I was going to be doing this call. I knew that, Monday's my day, and I had already picked this topic of abundance this morning as soon as I woke up. So I went into this room knowing, with this topic on my mind and thinking about what I was going to talk about today on the call and what points I was going to make and what I really truly thought was important about creating abundance. And here I am walking into this hospital room with Amanda, my friend, and her mom on the bed, holding on to a thread of life. Her family was all around her. And my friend said something very profound. We never know how we're going to act in these situations. And it forced me to kind of think about my own. Think about the day when I have to say goodbye to my mom. And how angry I would be, or how sad I would be, or how I would be thinking about all the things that she would miss. Like Bee's wedding, or, becoming a great grandma, or seeing Bee go to university, or seeing Bee, play on stage, at a concert. But my friend, Amanda, rather than sinking into this place of lack, of all the things she was losing, of all the moments that she wouldn't have with her mom, we sat in the waiting room, and I made her tell me some of the best memories that she had with her mom. And we started to talk about when we were kids and how her mom was always crazy, and she had the crazy mom. And we were laughing. And I thought, this moment could be extremely sad, but we're sitting in the waiting room and we're laughing. Be grateful for what you have, even in a dark moment, even in a sad place, even in a struggling time. Be grateful and have an attitude of gratitude. And no fear. Fear is like the opposite of abundance. Fear turns on all your triggers where abundance is not even possible. Understand that everything that has happened to you, everything that is existing in your life right now, is there for a reason. And any fear or stress or anxiety or anger will conflict with your abundance, basically turning it off. See compassionate awareness. So this is really important. Awareness. Life changer, game changer. Now, have you ever bounced a check? Or have you ever avoided creditors calling you? Or had, your credit card declined when you go to pay for something? I have. I can say yes, and yes to all of those things. Those have all happened to me. And when these things happen to us, when these circumstances and situations, for example, my friend who's going through a terrible time today, as these things happen, it's really easy to lose perspective. And fear and negativity, they just start to creep in. And in an instant, in a flash of a second, your mind gets small and you forget that you're connected to the universe. You forget that there's a source. You forget that there's an energy that's flowing between you and your thoughts. Well, compassionate awareness, it basically just means that you see the story coming for you as another story. It's like you're observing. You're not allowing the circumstance to affect who you are, how you think, your values. And you see it from almost a third party, and you're able to have this compassionate awareness. E, this is it, the last one, E, everyone. Everyone is eligible. So you are eligible for abundance. You qualify. There's you don't have to pass a test. You don't have to get certified. Everyone is included. Every single person on the planet. Obviously, you have to take action. You have to implement some of the things that we've talked about today. It's kind of like the lottery. You can't win. You have zero chance of ever winning if you don't play. I want you to say to yourself right now, I am entitled to miracles. I am entitled to miracles. Put it out there in your status. Put it out there in internet land. I am entitled to miracles. You are entitled. Everyone is eligible. All a miracle is a shift in your perception. So, are you willing? Are you willing to make that decision, to have that shift, to create that miracle in an instant? Sometimes, like I said, sometimes we have that scarcity. It gets in the way. We feel jealous of other people's success. Like other people are stealing our chances, or there won't be anything left for us. You have to practice knowing that you deserve it, you are eligible, and the universe is your source. It will give you what you ask for. But if you are asking for the wrong things, if your thinking is stinking, then you probably have exactly what you were meant to have. So I want you to pick one of the letters that we went through. One of the letters, and I want you to make a proclamation that you live by each day. Pick one that you think you struggle with the most. Whether it's your thinking, whether it's your worthiness, whether it's your gratitude, your fear, your awareness. Pick something that is the most challenging. And I want you to think of at least three different ways this week that you are going to bring abundance into your life through that one step. Of course, you want to focus on them all. I suggest, like I said, print it out, put it up on your wall. But I want you to pick one, because focused energy is more powerful. And explain 3 things that you are going to do this week to implement that one strategy. So I'm going to post it up in the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group or you're not plugged into the Facebook group, make sure you get back in touch with whoever invited you here. And they will plug you in to meet all these incredibly rad and amazing and inspiring women. I will post the assignment thread so that I can see. I want to see what you're doing consciously, what you have made a decision to do in your life this week to bring more abundance to you and your family.